Welcome, Walnut. I'm Lara, but you can call me Laz, your host for Walnut Wednesday. This is your reminder to be brave, be yourself, and know that you can make the world a better place just by what you decide today. Here, I'm going to share my weekly walnuttings with you on a Wednesday. Hello, Walnut. It is me, Laz, here for another episode of Walnut Wednesday. Can you believe we are so close to 200 episodes? And we're nearly going to be celebrating Walnut Wednesday's 200th episode. Like, wow. And so I say this in complete contrast to what I wanted to share with you this week, Walnut, where let's just dive straight in. But basically, the topic that I'm wanting to talk about is just that piece of the Walnut Journey where not everyone's going to get you, not everyone's going to believe in you, and coming back to just like this worthiness of self and self-belief, self-worth, self-love, owning like who you are. And I had an experience last night. It's very fresh, and I've done my walnutty conversation and I've done all the things. So I'll tell you all about it. But basically, the example, I was in a situation last night, Walnut, where I kind of self-deprecated Walnut Wednesday a little bit as a little joke, because I was in a situation where I felt a little bit it was like one of those situations where, you know, you self-deprecate yourself as a joke to try and catch the room sort of thing. So like I mentioned Walnut Wednesday like sponsoring somebody like as a little joke, and it was a joke, but also not funny, self-deprecation. I put myself there. I had a couple drinks. I wasn't being emotional, intelligible, and the reaction I got was like just so awkward, to the point where I actually felt embarrassed about being Walnut Wednesday's podcast host. And I'm getting emotional again, Walnut, because how do I even describe, it's just so fresh as well. So excuse the emotions as they like trickle down my face. But I felt embarrassed about my podcast because I felt like people don't get it, and I felt like unsupported, and I felt it just wasn't the right room to raise stuff about Walnut Wednesday, you know, like, and I have learned that over the journey. I've learned that, you know, like I have close family, close friends that don't get it, and that's fine. And then I have the people that absolutely love what Walnut Wednesday is, what it's about, OG supporters, people who, you know, who are walnuts, who just really get it. And I know that there is a difference, and maybe it was because I had a couple of drinkies, maybe it was, I don't know, but it just wasn't the correct room to be bringing that up in. But a person in that room, this has come up quite a lot with that same person about feeling unsupported. And it was like I kind of expected in that moment for that external thing outside of me that shouldn't have anything to do with myself, but it does. That one person, I wanted them to like just have my back a little bit, and they sort of didn't. If you can guess, it's obviously Geordie. I don't know if he'll appreciate me talking about it, but you know, like I kind of expected a little bit more of like, yeah, or like, let's go along with the joke. But instead I sort of got this weird like crickets. When I was already like, I felt the words come out of my mouth, I was already self-deprecating. I was already putting down like Walnut Wednesday, the love of my life. I was already doing it just, for reasons to make people pleasy type of stuff. And I kind of expected from that person to just continue with it, you know, like just support, just back me up with that. And I got nothing. And it just like, I felt so embarrassed. I felt like everyone in the room was like thinking I'm so dumb, thinking like my podcast is so dumb, thinking like it's so lame, and all the like the TikToks and the reels and the things, like all the little snips that I made. Like I got such bad like bully demon, imposter syndrome, like feeling like such a butthole. And it's because like, Walnut Wednesday, I love Walnut Wednesday. I'm so sensitive about it. And the one person in the room that I wanted to like really back me up on that. And it wasn't intentional. I know that it wasn't intentional, but the one person that I sort of like needed to have me in that moment was the person who like made the moment bigger and more embarrassinger because they didn't say anything. So it was like a weird moment of, oh, I'm sorry, I'm so upset. Well, I obviously like haven't like cleared this energy. But it was just like this weird moment of like I never thought that I would feel embarrassed to be the podcast host of Walnut Wednesday, like ever. um And so this morning I sort of said, like, I had the Walnutty conversation because I had the perfect opportunity to just brush it off and wake up in the morning and be like, it's not that big a deal, like I don't have drinks in my belly anymore. I like, it's get over it. Like, let's be realistic. They didn't mean it that way. That wasn't the situation. Like, it's just a bit of like sensitive sausage, bully demon, banana stuff going on. But I thought, no, I'm going to raise this because obviously, and like, look at me now, obviously I'm like still sad about it. So I said, like, hey, this is how the conversation went. Oh, if you need practice of walnutty conversations. And I was real nervous because I felt stupid. I felt stupid even raising this because I knew that that's not what the situation was, but that's how I felt. So I said, hey, something about last night really upset me. When's a good time to, projector in my life, when's a good time for me to bring it up and talk to you about it? They said, well, how about now? So I was like, well, okay, fuck. I'm not like prepared, but here we go. And I said, look, well, and I started crying and I was like, sorry, I'm still a bit emotional. Started getting all teary and my like lip was quivering and I was like, well, when I said this and then you didn't say this, but I just felt it was so embarrassing. And I like started crying, as I am now, reliving that like embarrassment. And obviously I got like, oh my God, Les, I'm so sorry. Like, that's not what it was going through my head. I wasn't thinking that. I wasn't trying to embarrass you. I don't think that of you. I do support you. I love Walnut Wednesday. I would love if Walnut Wednesday sponsored, like, then made a funny about like I ordered these stickers for like when I post the walnut swag, like I just got them made. I just wanted to see what they look like. And he was like, I'll tell you what, I'll even put one of those stickers on my thing, like, so I'll be the first sponsored, and I was just like, okay, it's too far now. Stop. But like I got the like, it's not even the apology that I needed, but I got a response, and I feel like it was really brave of me to like let my feelings be known of how much that had embarrassed and upset me. And yeah, I think besides the point of like if it was meant to make me feel that way or not, I think the main point of the story was that it did, and that's how I felt, and I needed to share how I felt. And I think that's like the moral of this kind of episode as well, Walnut, is like I wanted to share with you that I did have to really walnut to have that conversation. And I think also like calling myself out on like, this is the little example of the self-deprecating stuff, and how like what was the point in even saying that? Because now I've gone through this whole like rigmarole of emotions and feeling ashamed and embarrassed of something that I actually fucking love, and then thinking that other people think that I suck, and like going back to all these like old things that I've like worked through. It's like, what was the point in making myself the butt of a joke when it helped no one? It made me cry for like 24 hours. Like, she's still crying. It just, what's the point? I mean, it brought like another opportunity to walnut and share how I feel, and not let it slide and actually like express my truth and express my feelings. But yeah, I just thought it's important to just like share the reminder of Walnut that self-deprecation comments about yourself, that they don't do anything. Like, why, to get what was I hoping for? To get a potential laugh out of the room, or to ease a silence that was like totally fine with being there? What the fuck was the point? So yeah, just really calling myself out on that, Walnut. And if you're resonating with this, just calling you out as well on we don't need to make ourselves the butt of the jokes anymore. And it doesn't, this is an example of where it just doesn't end well. Like there's no point in it. But then on that Walnut as well, another walnutting is that I had a courageous conversation. I had to be really brave, and even though I knew, like I knew that it wasn't meant to hurt my feelings, I knew that it wasn't meant to do any of the things, I still had to have the conversation and not let it slide, and just say like, hey, this made me feel this way because I matter, because how I feel matters, and it's not about what the other person's intention was. It's about me expressing how I feel and practicing using my voice about something that means so much to me, which is Walnut Wednesday. Walnut Wednesday is my thing. And I was sort of just like sitting here before Walnut, just thinking like, of all the people who I think that I'm dumb, so nothing to do with them, again, it's just my perception. Reminds me of like what Kayla Anderson said on that episode, I'm not what you think I am what you think I think you think I am. That quote. I have been doing this podcast just to call out my bully demon and my imposter syndrome, and like when I get oversensitive. I've been doing this podcast every single week, and this will be the 4th year. And like I said at the beginning, nearly 200 episodes. I've stuck to this. It's not just a hobby that I thought would be really cool and gain traction and become famous and just doing everything for the likes. Like, I'm doing this because I believe in it. I'm doing it because I think it's important, and I'm doing it because I love it. And I've stuck with it. Little Miss Open Heart Center, non-committed, like it still just feels aligned, and it still just feels right. And I don't think there are many people, or even walnuts for that matter, who can say that they've like really stuck with something that they said they were going to do for this amount of time, and I have to take my hat off to myself and pat myself on the back for that. And I don't celebrate that as often as I kind of should, like I've got so much to celebrate about Walnut Wednesday, and I love to come and share it with you. But then sometimes when I have these moments of like, I feel like it was a setback. That comment just coming out of my fucking mouth. Like, I feel like it was a setback, and I knew in real time that I was doing it. So like, yeah, I feel like in those sort of moments, I need to be like, actually, I am awesome, and I am doing cool things, and this podcast is great, and it doesn't suck, and who cares? So I hate sounding cliche-ical, because it's so much easier said than done to be like, who cares what other people think? But sometimes when you get in those weird little funks, which do happen, it just goes like that, right? So anyway, my walnutting this week is that I caught myself being self-deprecational. I got really, really hurt feelings because I am super sensitive sausage when it comes to anything Walnut Wednesday. So like, I really opened that little hole up by myself. And then also I just felt really unsupported by a person or people who mean the most to me and are the closest to me. So I learned, again, it's just another learning of like which rooms to pick, and which people are the walnut people and which people are just like the other people, and keeping that like at the forefront of my mind. And also like digging deeper into, why did I feel the need to say that comment? Like, why was I so uncomfortable that I had to make myself the butt of the joke? So just lots of like little reflections in this weekend from just this moment on my walnuttings this week. And then obviously I had to be brave and articulate that all of that stuff happened, and all of that stuff made me upset, which I'm also really proud of. So I don't really know where the learning or the teachable moment is, Walnut, but it's just me sharing my experience from this weekend. And I hope that you can pull something out and relate it to something that you're going through. And if you do, I'd love to talk to you about it. I'd love to hear about it. And just remember, Walnut, that the Walnut journey can be very lonely, and it can feel like you're so alone and isolated, and like nobody gets you, and unfair. And sometimes it can feel like real shit. It can feel really shitty. But just know that it's not even that you're not alone, but there are so many walnuts like me and you that are all feeling lonely together. So it's not like we're all like doing the same thing and feeling like we need to all like stick together, but just know that we've got this, because I've got this and because you've got this, which means they've got this. So we've all got this, even though there are those really lonely days. So I'm holding that for you. I'm holding it for us. I'm holding it for them. I'm just like on the little whirlpool with you. Okay? So have a happy Walnut Wednesday, and I hope this resonates. I hope this helps, and I'll talk to you really soon. Bye.